Kingsmere is growing at an extraordinary rate. However, with growth comes issues. Our services are stretched, there's a lack of housing and entertainment, and the people could really be happier. That's why in this episode we are going back to the basics. We're going to break down the issues that we have and we're going to work on fixing them. We're going to develop a new area in the green space ahead, adding a mixture of services and entertainment, adding more homes and listening to the needs of our people. All these changes will hopefully line our pockets with money, allowing us to fund further unique projects in the future. Welcome back to Kingsmere. Ah yes, welcome back to Kingsmere. If you're new here, then well, welcome to the first time. In the last episode we developed this area, as you can see below me. This was basically based on student accommodation, kind of a university student village for our pretty mega university that we've got over there. And I think we've developed that quite nicely, to be honest with you. I was really happy with how that turned out. And to be fair, Kingsmere as a whole is looking pretty. Is that the right word to say? Yeah, it's pretty. I'm pretty happy with how it's coming along. I think it's going all right, which is really good. Oh, autosave this early on. We're in for a treat. Yeah, Kingsmere is looking good, but there are a few issues which I have started to notice which we need to address. So let's have a look at what those issues are. So there are a few issues. One of them at the moment, for some reason, we're making loads of money, and I don't know where this money has come from. It's probably due to the taxes, as you can see here, and some service fees, which is good. So we're making a bit of money here and there, which is exactly what we like to see. However, there are a few unhappy people, and one of the key things that people were getting annoyed about is crime, so we need to address that. A couple of things that I want to point out to you is you'll notice that my taxi depots are actually hidden now. So I've placed them down, but I've put these static ploppables over the top so that they don't have such an American sort of vibe to it, so that it looks just like a normal building. And I've done the same over here, because I don't really want a bright yellow, he says, as a bright yellow. Why? I've changed all of you. Why are you doing this to me? I changed them all to black and now they're just like, meh, I'm going to do what I want. And you. So for some reason they keep resetting. But it is what it is. So we've just covered up a couple of taxi depots. We've added next to bus garage here because we were getting a bug where we're... Not a bug, it's just a funding issue. We're getting a little icon saying that we're running out of buses. And for some reason there are trees everywhere here as well, which is not exactly what we want. So we're going to get rid of said trees because you don't belong there. Good. Yeah, so the first thing that I want to address, because we're going to try and complete this area here, but we're going to try and complete it in a way that is going to help our citizens. Mostly, as a whole, people are happy. They're sad about taxes, which is fine, because we'll reduce the taxes when we start making a lot more money, is what it is. One of the things is crime. People are unhappy about crime. And when I actually dived into crime, it made me realise that we've only got a police station in King Edward and a police station over here in Willow Ash. There's no police coverage for the whole of the centre, which is just disgusting, and I can only apologise. That's not acceptable, and it never should have been thought as been acceptable. Fire coverage, again, we've got 2 stations, but to be fair with the fire stations, this one is quite close to the main London road, so there's quite ease of access for basically all areas, because this one can just go up and jump into the main area down here, and then it could also drop into this estate, go up here, in and down, and then obviously you've got the other coverage for this fire station, which again has access to all of the main roads and London Road to cover this portion. So they kind of do half and half, but we might think about changing that. Healthcare wise, we're just generally doing okay, but we need to get some sort of death care in here. Crematorium wise, obviously cemeteries are fine, but some people prefer to be cremated, so we need to address that. So let's start off with a police station and a small crematorium. And we're going to be going a little bit rogue here, to be honest with you. So this little spot here is where I want to put my police station. But just bear with me, because I don't really like this building as an extra garage. It looks a bit boring and yeah. But I think that we could potentially blend that in to become a police station. So that's got 10 cars. Cool. But no, that's not what I was going to do. I was going to use this city police station, right? And I was going to place it basically here and try and integrate this into one large building to make it look like one large building. Let me just repeat myself. So that's going to be the initial plan. And hear me out, because it's going to be a bumpy road and a lot of you are probably not going to like it. But I don't think this is too bad. British police station vibes, there are only one in the UK pack, which is fine, there's no problem with that. However, this design of this police station is actually not too dissimilar to what you would probably see in a main city, so something quite large, this sort of size, just kind of pretty chunky and concrete-y. Nothing really unique about it, just grim brickwork that was built many years ago, and when you go inside it, it absolutely stinks and everything's run down and not working. And when you look at it, it does give that sort of vibe. I'm not going to lie, it does give that sort of vibe. I know it's probably meant for an American pack or something like that, but I do think this station itself will probably work out pretty fine. I'm not sure if you can recolor these, which is a bit of a shame, but we're also going to get ourselves our very first police helicopter, just to really knuckle down on the crime that's going down, because we don't want that at all. We really don't want that. So next thing I want to do, I'm going to try and copy that. I'm going to try and paste it into here. We can kind of, not really kind of, oh, they've come back as well. Kind of turn this into a bit of a police station. I mean, it's never going to look perfect because it's obviously two completely different buildings. However, I think those two together kind of gives us good sort of vibes. And then simply with that, we'll just add a couple of trees just along this section here, just to cover it off from the main sort of road here. And hopefully that will make a few of our citizens a little bit happier, and that will have pretty decent coverage, I would say. That should really be able to access pretty much all areas, because it can go up here, you can drop down and across through there, straight down to here, covering all of these sections, which is really good. So the next building that I've been wanting to place for quite a while, and I've been finding the right sort of spot, is in this large section that we've kind of cordoned off in a way. And we're going to go into parks, and as you can see, the sports complex fits in here pretty much perfectly. And this kind of gives the vibes of, if you've been to the UK, you'll probably see David Lloyd's in most large town cities, and they're basically like a leisure centre where you pay a membership, you have access to all their facilities. They've got indoor pool, gym, spa, sauna, all that stuff. They've got some outdoor areas where you play various sports and activities, and this is kind of the vibe that I wanted to go for with this. So I might actually name this David Lloyd's Kingsmere, like that, and that'll be oh, I don't know if it's got an S at the end. David Lloyd Kingsmere. I just think it makes sense, but I might change the colour of that a little bit to a more of a bland sort of colour. Maybe something like that. Slightly green it just a little bit. David Lloyd is really more of a green sort of vibe. I mean, not that sort of green, but what I say, slightly better. I actually think that greenery looks quite nice, to be honest. And then it also keeps a lot of this space nice and open too. It doesn't feel too overwhelming, not too much being built in it. So Yeah, I think that's a pretty decent spot for our new addition, David Lloyd. So although we are making a tasty bit of cash at the moment, as you can see, and I'm not quite sure where that influx has come from other than taxes, we might have a look into our services here, because quite frankly we need to make a few adjustments. One, we want to reset this police budget to 100% so that the crime is all good. Parks, that's alright. To be honest with you, that's okay. Fire services are fine at 90 for the time being. It would be good if we could generate some of our own electricity. Water, we're generating a little bit of our own, but we're importing some. Healthcare and death care, it's very expensive. It is what it is. So I'm probably going to find a place for a crematorium to keep everybody happy. And I'm just trying to think of a good sort of place to put it. It's proven to be quite difficult, to be honest with you. So I don't want anything too crazy. Yeah, because the one that I want to use is the Netherlands Crematorium, because it's quite a nice sort of building. And to be honest with you, we could just blend it in over here. However, I did want to put a cinema here, funnily enough. A bit of a weird place to put a cinema, but I think it would maybe work. So I wanted to put, where is a Cine Vista? I wanted to put a cinema kind of here so that people could actually go to the cinema and actually do something fun, instead of it just being full of like houses and stuff like that. I think this would be an alright sort of place to have a cinema. And it kind of fits the vibes down here. It's more like a little bit more of an industrial estate more than anything. And to be honest, that building doesn't look too bad down there. Not too bad at all. Yeah, I think that's fine, to be honest with you. I like that cinema. Now the next spot that I kind of was eyeing up was this little section here. The reason that I was eyeing it up, because the Nitro Kingdom, which is like a go-karting place, I think it would look quite good here. We just need to kind of try and get it into the right position. But to be honest, I think it's a decent place for it, because again, it sort of sits with the not industrial estate, but you know what I mean, the less homey sort of places. So I think having it on this like isolated corner that we've got over here would probably work out relatively okay. And it's probably where you'd expect to find an indoor go-karting arena as well. So I think we're going to have it around here. But what we're probably going to do is try to make this road a little bit easier on the eye, hopefully. And just bring that up like this. That's not quite right. So let's grab that again. That, and then see if we can just ping that around. If we can. Oh, disaster. It's all going wrong. Ping that round. Why are you like this? Why are you doing this to me? Come on, right, let's just bring that up slightly, and then let's just corner that off. Just like that. That's what we wanted to do, just a little corner. And then our nice little Nitro Kingdom can just sit here and be nice and comfortable sat up against this little road here. Which is good, because it kind of reflects the fact that we've got sort of industrial estate here, have it on this side as well, and then linking around the back into this sort of area too. It just makes a bit of sense in my opinion. And then we need to figure out what we want to do in this square here. That's not really a square at all, is it? That's the least square that you've ever seen. However, it is what it is. But yeah. Right, what is next? I'm having a few difficulties with the crematorium. I can't find a decent place for it. I thought about putting it here, and no, can do. But we don't need a big one, so I'm thinking of if I just place this one down, and I do what I did with the taxi places, and just make it disappear. I think that'll probably be perfectly reasonable to do. So if I just do that and upgrade it, and then if we turn this into like a double building as such, we might be able to disguise this away as well, which would be very ideal for us, to be honest with you. So we just do that, and then we try and get hold of this and sneak it into there. We should still be able to keep our vibes going, and I think that's pretty well hidden. It just looks like a little business, like a little office business over there. I think that's probably reasonable. It will keep everybody happy, and it's not causing us too many issues. Yeah, I think we'll keep that instead of trying to force our way in with the Netherlands pack. So we'll just leave that as it is. And what are people saying now then? Any happy bunnies? So high taxes is the main thing. Garbage, unreliable internet service. So internet wise, let's have a little look. Telephone booths don't really do much for us, but we could place a couple down. You might not have noticed, but I did place a couple in various spots around the city, around these areas. Autosave, and then one over there, just to give it some more British sort of vibes. But I don't think this is gonna have the desired effect as we thought it would. So we could go for a telecom tower, or a radio mast is probably a bit more reasonable. I'm just thinking of what we do, because we could have a radio mast. I don't want it to be taller than our tallest building, that's the problem. So it's kind of a meh. So potentially I think we go for just a small one, and we just pop that maybe on the edge here. That would probably fit there as a... The thing is, that fits pretty well there as well. And that, does that cover off basically the whole city? Where are you? I mean, everything's green. Do you think it would just take a little bit of time to sort itself out? I reckon that will probably be the case. It will take a little bit of time to sort itself out, because everything's green, right? The whole land is green. It's just the buildings are kind of unhappy at the moment, it seems. So maybe we'll just let that run and just see what happens. Does that look okay there? I think it looks reasonable. I don't think it's too encroaching on anything. Oh, I mean, there's a little bit of wiggle room that could be required, like that. Meh. Okay, so that's made our people quite happy, because now they say +5 reliable internet services, which is great. So that mask has worked, which is fantastic. So the only downers that they have at the minute is high taxes, garbage, and then they're still -1 for a high crime risk, despite us building this lovely police station. And it looks like we're nicking a lot of people. So it makes me think that we might need another station, because if we got that one which is covering essentially this area, this one, let's say it's covering that sort of area, this bigger one will cover this sort of area. Yeah, it's tough. We probably do need another one. Just where we would put it is a question for us all. Even if we just put a small one, autosave, on the corner, so just your traditional British one, just on this kind of corner here. and somehow link it up. Although that is in close proximity to everything else, it might make sense to have it, because we're not getting enough coverage. It's just that simple. So yeah, it's annoying that this is the only British one and it only has 6 cars, which is the problem. But then for a little bit more a month, you get an extra, you get 16 with this one. So a bit of a tough one. What about an NL? That's 8 cars. How large are you? I mean, we could probably get away with that, to be honest. And let's just have a look to see what kind of upgrades. Administrative extra offices. Oh yeah, you can make this pretty wham. So let's put that there and then put that there. We could probably make this into our central police station. That's quite a decent size. And other than saying Politi on it, which can we get rid of? No, we can't. That's a shame. I wish we could. Yeah, other than saying Politi on it, it actually looks relatively UK-ish. So we might actually be able to use that, to be honest, somewhere around here. Maybe we'll give that a go. So I'm just in the process of finishing off this kind of like industrial park / sort of tech park that we've got on the edge of our city over here. I think it's going along quite nicely, to be honest. We've added a few different style buildings, a couple of the signature buildings, the Principis, Coda Park, and then some normal standard offices that I from the static bobbles that I've kind of popped down here, which I think kind of just fit in quite nicely. It's nothing too crazy. It's just kind of a few offices down here in this tech park to keep it kind of tech parky instead of just you know, random buildings. So it's a little bit of business down there, so people have reasons to go down there. That makes perfect sense. I would quite like to get some bike parking in somewhere around here, because there's quite frankly none. So we need to try and implement just at least a little bit so that people can get to here. So potentially just whack one just down there, right in that little gap. So it kind of just fits pretty perfectly, if you ask me. We'll slap that in, show me the money, son. And hopefully people will start cycling down this part of the area as well, because we've got all the cycle lanes. It makes sense for everybody to do that. And we need to get rid of these zebra crossings because we don't need them. And hopefully we'll have a few more people cruising around and doing their sort of things over here, which is great. Now, I quite like that, you know, it's actually giving me good sort of vibes. I'm quite happy with how that's looking, because it doesn't stick out too much. It just looks like your typical kind of tech park. Nothing more, nothing less. So we need to figure out what we're going to do with this spot, and then we're going to work on this spot. I haven't forgot about the police station. We will add that in, because it is still something that they're slightly unhappy with. But we also need to figure out what we're going to do with some garbage as well. I'm tempted to maybe do something here with some garbage, just to have like a small little waste collection centre or similar. Let me just show you what I mean before we get this right. So in this section we've got this lovely waste collection centre, which is not too large. It will fit, and it doesn't look like it stinks that much. So I'm thinking if we manage to kind of put this somewhere like here, it will kind of be out the way ish, but we'll get the services that we need, because we're never going to fit anything else in here. And then there's actually upgrades to the buildings as well, so at least we'll have this kind of, you know, working. We'll have some sort of trash collection, and we can blend it in to make it look nice as well. So I think that's probably what we're going to do. So I'm going to start off by just picking up all of these trees, so that we don't get those weird trees appearing on top of our buildings like we have been for the last 10 minutes. Very strange, but we'll get rid of those, and we'll have this space here, which is good. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to place down this garbage collection centre, probably slap bang in the middle there. Nothing too crazy, just have it there. And I believe this one's by Grooney. Yes, it is, and it is beautiful. It's just your typical kind of rubbish collection tip, and I think it's really nice to look at. Now I've added this extra road because we can upgrade this with waste collection truck depots. This does cost quite a bit of money, but you get 100 tons more storage and 4 more trucks, which we'll probably need for the city of this sort of size. So we're going to just add a couple of these. Oh, that's not right. Why are you... Oh, it's because it's got all of the snapping options on. My bad, my bad. So that... Oh, and then this is going to be annoying because you can't... I don't think you can move it with these extra bits, which is a little bit annoying. Maybe we should just get rid of all of the snapping. So the gate is this side. And we just want these to basically slot in here. Just like that. And we'll have one next to it just like that. Do we think we need any more? I think we... maybe. Let's have a look. I mean, we're still on the -2s. How many trucks do we have running out of here? 12 out of 12 are being used. So if we do upgrade it, we'll get 4 more trucks. And to be honest, I think we're probably going to need them. So I'm going to add 2 more here. Like that. And like that. And this is just going to be our waste management centre. Every city needs one. As much as they're ugly and we don't really want it, it's there. It's got to do it. Got to do it, unfortunately. And to be honest with you, we're probably going to have to make quite a large sort of waste depot anyway at some point when our city gets a lot larger. So it's worth just doing it straight away, or not straight away, but just adding a small one in as a temporary sort of measure. And then we'll look at trying to blend it in as much as we can, because we don't really want it causing too much uglies around here. So we'll just tree off most of it to hopefully make it look a little bit more hidden away. Nothing a few trees can't fix, eh? There we go, a few around there, and then we'll just put a little bit of some around this sort of area too, just to blend it in that little bit better, like so. And we've actually got this quite large, I say large, it's not really large, but a decent kind of bit of space here, which I'm unsure on what we want to use. Is there anything that's screaming out at us that we could potentially want? Not really. Crime is still a problem, which we know, but yeah, I'm not sure what we can put here. Maybe I'll just have a little think and a little look to see what would kind of be ideal to have there. I mean, kind of ironically, the Netherlands police station fits pretty darn perfectly in this spot here. And as much as we've got a police station right there and one just over there, I think this might actually be an alright place to have it, to be honest with you, because it fits pretty much perfectly. Easy access to all of the routes. So to be honest with you, I think we might actually have it here, to be honest with you. I think we might just do that. Just thinking, probably have it maybe there. And then we'll whack all of the upgrades on this, because this is like the main station for, well, the whole city, to be honest with you. It's kind of the main sort of hub. And then we'll think about putting something alongside here. I'm going to say that we probably won't have to fit much. Even something like that's going to be way too big. I mean, that would be cool to add, but we'd need to shuffle everything over just slightly. So let's say, theoretically, if we wanted... Oh, to be fair, we don't even need that road to go all the way down, so we could actually just have that there. Because why do we need this road? We really don't, because it stopped here. But does it look stupid, is the question. Are there any alternatives? I mean, the underground one looks just as stupid. This one's textures don't work properly. And all of the other ones are kind of low capacity as well. So, meh. I mean, I don't love it, but it's parking, and we don't have that much parking. We kind of need more parking. So maybe we'll just stick it out for the minute, and if it keeps bugging us, we'll get rid of it. But for the time being, we'll allow it to stay. And I wonder if we should just move it over slightly. Maybe something like that. Obviously everybody needs to pay us millions to park, because that's just how the world works. And then if we can close it off with probably a few bushes, I reckon, like this, just along the perimeter of said parking, it might assist us in just blending it in a little bit more. And then a few bushes down there, and we'll probably go, that was another auto save, that's probably got to be like the 7,000th of today. A few bushes along there, and then back up the rest of it with a little bit of tree lines like that. I don't think that looks too bad. I think that's fine. And hopefully, how is there still a high crime risk? Oh, stand by. It's gone. So those two have gone down. No, it's gone up again. They can't agree. I mean, at least our garbage is sort of full. Oh man. Oh man. That doesn't help us with processing at all either, does it? That's completely full up. Oh dear. Oh dear. I mean, at least it's something. At least it's not nothing. Okay, so we've surpassed 78 million, which is great, and we're still making plenty of money. And we've filled out the gaps along here with of our kind of industrial sort of tech park area, with a few more offices and stuff like that, which all looks pretty decent, to be honest. And what I might do is just create a nice little district for this area. So we'll probably go up from here. We'll go probably along this road up to here, follow that all the way around to there, and this will be our brand new sort of area down here. Good. We don't want you parking on the side of the road, I'm not gonna lie, sir. So I'm gonna create a wide sidewalk for that section there. And should we call this? Obviously we've got willow ash here. Ooh, let me think. Maybe we should call it. Oh, it's tough. It's tough. I don't really know. Willow Industrial Park. Willow Industrial Park, because it's right next to here. Kind of makes sense to me, in my personal opinion. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think we could certainly have that. That looks quite nice and complete, to be honest with you. We've just got this gap here, obviously, but that kind of feels pretty complete. The people are still upset with taxes, and for some reason crime as well is still a problem. And only 2 of these fellas are doing anything, which is not helpful at all. So, not sure what to do about that for the time being. What is the issue with said crime? See, everything's green. I think maybe it's just going to take some time for all of the bad people to be sorted out, because we got no prison, but we've got loads of people sentenced. So that's probably quite a big problem for us. But hey ho, we can resolve that at a later date, because we want to fill in this gap so that then we have basically nearly completed everything this side of the highway, which is quite impressive. And the city itself is coming together quite nicely. I really do like the look of it. So let's think about what we're going to do here. So we're trying to go back to our roots a little bit with this area that we're developing here. So we're actually going with traditional British assets, thank the Lord, because it's been a while. And we're just trying to kind of develop an area that you kind of would expect. Some nice terrace housing, plenty of shops. This is like your local stretcher shops that would serve these housing. A few more shops and stuff on the outer perimeter, and then various different houses and stuff like that within here. And importantly, we need a pub. So we're probably going to get a decent sized one in here, I reckon. If it lets me clip to that one, that's okay. That's a pretty good sized pub. Right on the corner, the Church Inn. On a slight gradient though, Mr. Church Inn, aren't you? I wonder if we can help you out with that a little bit by smoothing out this section. Probably not, I probably won't do anything because they're buildings, but yeah, no. But that's nothing that we can't potentially cover up with a little bit of help from a friend. But yeah, a nice little pub on the corner, a few shops there, and we'll add a few more terrace houses in here. I'm wondering if we can get any... Ooh. That... No, that doesn't filter it to the right place. I'm trying to think. I want that. Yeah, that's about 3 wide, and then we can back them onto each other. Perfect. That'll be good enough for me. Like that. And then same sort of thing. We'll just have to shuffle this side up a little bit, just to make it all kind of in-lined in a way. So we'll just do a bit of a shuffle. I definitely could have just moved them all at once, but why not make things difficult for myself? Let's just do that. Cool, a few more homes in there. Population's going up, making decent cash now as well from this injection of houses, which is awesome. And then we're gonna probably, don't know what to do about this little section. A few trees probably. Just along there, maybe even some bushes actually. Let's go with some bushes. There we go, just along that section there. Good. And then a few here as well would be great. Lovely jubbly. And yeah, we're just going to continue trying to keep this British sort of vibe going along in this section here. And hopefully we'll develop a nice little housing estate, boost our population and make loads of cash. So our new area has come together, and this is what we've ended up with. We've got some lower rent, higher rise flats closer to the A4. Reason is it will be louder and cheaper, so why not build there? Lower rent buildings. Then we've got some shops in the middle, pub, because everybody loves a pub. A few shops along the outside here. Another police station because crime is not going down. We'll have a look at that in a second. And then some semi-detached and detached housing along this perimeter, so they can take a leisurely walk straight over to David Lloyd. But yeah, it looks pretty good, and I think that kind of good sort of vibes fits in pretty well. And wow, this is coming together. Oh, autosave. This is coming together pretty darn tooling. I like it. It looks really good. Yeah, look at the size of that bad boy. It actually looks like an actual town here, and we are raking in the cash as well, especially from taxes mainly. We're making absolutely loads of money. Obviously we're spending a lot, but you know, here's what it is. But yeah, we're doing pretty well. We've created quite a nice looking British city at the moment. I'm pretty happy with how it's come along. Yeah, good. Right, so in order to try and appease the crime risk, we're going to allocate our police stations to various districts. Oh, we need to create a district for here, because this is kind of all in its own, unless we actually have this as part of Victoria Square down here. I don't know actually, because it's a bit small to have its own estate. Let me think of a name. So first of all, we're going to name this road as the High Street. It kind of just makes sense to have this as the High Street. Going through here, and then we'll add our little district into this section here, all the way up there, like that. And that should create a nice little area. Ooh, Pearl Acres, what a lovely name. And we're just going to call this one Castle Hill. Do we want a space between them? I think that's probably fine. Castle Hill. Yeah, that's alright. So then we've got our districts here. Willow Ash is this section. Church Meadows is all the way around the outside. Kings Park, Castle Hill, Willow Industrial Park, Victoria Square, King Edward University. That's the small town of King Edward. And then Brookfield Park. So yeah, nice little district. So we need to try and resolve our police problem. So we're going to try and allocate police stations to relevant areas. So first of all, we've got police station here, and well, oh my gosh, look at what the. So this police station is going to operate in Willow Ash. To be honest with you, I might just leave it to operate in Willow Ash. Because that kind of just makes sense, doesn't it? And let's say no, we'll just allow you to just do Willow Ash. That's probably makes the most sense. And we'll call that Willow Ash Police Station. Good. Good. Right, and then the next police station that we have is this one, which is just going to be called Kingsmere Police Station, because it's like the main hub. And we're going to select operating districts as we want you to be able to do the industrial estate. We basically want it to do all of this sort of area, to be honest. So we'll have you overlapping quite a decent chunk of this, all of this central bit, because this is quite a large station. So we'll have that covering all of these areas, as it's such a humongous station. Good. And then we'll get this one, which is we'll call it Victoria, because it's right on the edge of Victoria. And we'll select the operating district for Victoria. That can serve. We'll have you just serving these two. But then again, this is quite a big one as well, isn't it? So maybe you'll have all of these sections here, which probably makes sense. So then that one will cover down here. This has got all of that. That looks good to me. And then we've got another police station here, which is going to be called Castle Hill. And Castle Hill Police Station is going to cover Castle Hill, Kings Park and Church Meadows. So just those three. So that we've got a decent bit of overlap there. And then we've got two police stations covering here, which is great. Good. Nice. We've got a small police station here, and that'll just be we'll call that Brookfield Police Station, because it's so close to Brookfield Park. And that very small police station, where do you want to cover? So we've got a police station in here, haven't we? We'll have that as like the uni police. Maybe not. Yeah, we'll have you covering. Thing is, access-wise, it's a bit of a pain, isn't it? Maybe we'll just have you covering Brookfield Park, King Edward and King Edward University, so you can just branch in between all of those. That makes sense to me. good. And then I believe we've got one more, which is this one, which is going to be King Edward Police Station, and all you're going to cover is here and here. And I think that makes perfect sense to me, to be honest with you. Maybe you can include Brookfield Park, because it's technically sort of part of the old same sort of district, and it's pretty easy access, because if you come from here it's just up and then you're in. So yeah, those districts there. Okay, that's good. That's some decent allocation. We're going to do the same with the fire service, because we don't actually have many. So we're just going to basically split the fire station into the city into, sorry, King Edward Fire Station, and you're going to cover essentially I'm going to say that he covers all of that area, and then the other one covers all of that area. I think that's probably fair. Yeah, it's annoying because this one branches all the way around. Maybe we'll have this to be a shared area for both. So that's good. And then for this fire station, which is Willow Ash Fire Station, the operating districts for you are Willow Ash, Castle Hill, Kings Park. So basically this half as well. Good. Fantastic. Why is your efficiency only 50%, which is a bit weird? Not sure why. I think what we're going to do as well is, now that we're making quite a bit of money, we're going to try and reset all of these back to 100%, in a hope that we don't start losing money, but in a hope that we'll just be able to maintain our money. Our taxes are still relatively high. Oh, look at that, we're just barely making money. Oh no, we're still making a decent chunk of money, to be fair. But hopefully that will assist us in more coverage in and around our city. And if I just let it run for a little bit, we'll kind of see what happens here. Well, there we have it. I did let the game run for a little bit, and not much changed on the crime risk despite us allocating operating districts. So it might just be the case that we need a prison to kind of get rid of all of the arrested criminals that were arrested prior to us creating all of these police stations. But nevertheless, this is fantastic. I hope you like the developments today. We are making money, and we have filled out most of this side of the A1, which is great. Let me know what you want to see in the next episodes. Thank you very much for your support, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you very much. Consider becoming a channel member if you haven't already, and good night.